Now, let us look at another form of market, which is monopolistic competition, right? So first, let's look at the definition of what a monopolistic competition is. And while I'm explaining this, maybe it might just be a good idea that you keep the television industry in mind, okay? A market structure with many firms. If you look at this particular market, the television market, there are several firms who exist, right? So if you want to buy a television, there could be Samsung, it could be Sony, right? There could be Videocon, there could be many other companies who are producing this product. So there are many firms in the market which are selling closely related, right? These televisions are closely related because the purpose they serve, the use that they have, even though they come from different firms, they are kind of closely related. Some may have some feature, some may have an additional feature, but unidentical commodities. None of the two televisions, if you see, even when they are coming from different brands, are identical. So many firms selling closely related but unidentical commodities. Another example could be that of an automobile, right? You may be buying a car. Again, several firms manufacturing cars in India, right? They are all four-wheelers, but none of the two cars are alike. They're not identical, right? That's where a monopolistic competition is. What are the features of monopolistic competition? There are a large number of buyers and sellers, right? It's not restricted to one seller, just what we saw in the case of monopoly. Second, there's a product differentiation. None of the two products are identical. Whether you take the example of an automobile, whether you take an example of a television. Some may have the 4K feature. In some of the television, you can run internet. In some, you cannot, right? Some of the television allow you to run audio through a USB. Some allow you to use audio plus video, right? So there are differentiated products which are there. And there's a free entry and exit of firms. It is not that there are any legal barrier which prevent that someone tomorrow wants to get into this particular industry. He cannot do that because there are entry barriers or exit barriers, right? Again, there's an imperfect knowledge. The buyer who wants to buy these products does not have a perfect knowledge of the market condition, right? How is it driven? He's driven in the case of buyer maybe by advertisement. The more advertisement you see, the more is the recall value you have, right? So there's an imperfect knowledge insofar as buyers are concerned, and even the sellers, because the consumers also keep on changing their preferences. There is a selling cost in case of monopolistic competition. For monopoly, there's no selling cost. We took the examples of railways. Have you ever seen railways advertising in India? Right? No. Because they know if someone wants to travel through railways, then obviously he has to go and do a booking with them. There's a monopoly condition which exists. But if you see transportation in the case of buses, right? There you have the government buses and you have the private charterer as well, right? And some of the aggregators who are coming in, right? They advertise a lot because they want the customers to come to them. And there's a selling cost which is involved. And there's a high transportation cost, particularly in case of transfers relating to goods. The cost of transporting them from one place to the other is pretty high.